I have given to you tonight the broad picture of the subject. First study this broad picture and try to assess the implications for us. What will Allah do to us? How great must be His anger? Before you ask me questions about how can I buy a house in Sydney? Huh? Before I end, let me add one more point. Those who are attacking us operate with PhDs in deception. If there are 10 Muslims and they're able to get 6 of them to borrow money and interest from the bank to buy a house or to buy a car or to build an Islamic school, 4 Muslims have resisted. So they're not content until they come and get those 4. وَلَن تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودَ وَلَا النَّصَارَ حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُمْ. They want to get the other 4 now. The ones who want to remain faithful to Allah and His Messenger. So how do they get them? They get them with something called an Islamic bank. Yes, an Islamic bank. Guess what the Islamic bank does? I have to tell you this one before I finish. What the Islamic bank does, 9 times out of 10, is to give you backdoor riba. Example, probably the most prominent of all examples of all the trading of the Islamic banks. In Islam, the norm of a business transaction is a cash transaction. And a credit transaction is the exception to the norm. A credit transaction will be one in which you're given time to pay, okay? The norm of a business transaction in Islam is a cash transaction. And so in Islam, market price is always cash price. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu came into the market and found a man selling his goods at less than the market price. Umar said to him, "Get out, raise your price or get out of our market." You lower your price to cut the throat of your competitors. And when they collapse, then you take control of the market and you raise your price. So, market price is cash price. A house is on sale for $100,000. I don't have the 100,000 to buy it. Islamic Bank says no problem. Islamic Bank says we'll buy it for 100,000 and then we'll sell it to you for 400,000. What did you say? Huh? I didn't hear you. We'll buy it for 100,000 and we'll sell it to you for 400,000. Huh? Why would I buy from you for 400,000 when it's on sale for 100,000? If I have to buy from you cash, then someone should make an appointment for me with a psychiatrist. Huh? I'm mentally unsound. No, you're not buying from me cash. It's a credit transaction. Oh, I see. So I pay you 400,000 and you give me 20 years to pay. Why am I paying an extra 300,000? Why? There's only one honest answer to that question. There's only one honest answer to that question. All the rest belong to the garbage bin. The only reason why I'm paying an extra $300,000 is because you've given me 20 years to pay. That's the only reason. And so time equals money. You are earning money through time, and that is riba. But Islamic Bank says no. There is no lending of money here. There is no loan. This is murabaha. Murabaha, where both the buyer and the seller agree on the selling price with an increase. Murabaha. No, it ain't murabaha. It's backdoor riba. Around the world today, Islamic banks, Islamic financial institutions are peddling murabaha and declaring that this is a halal transaction, and there are no shortage of muftis. If you are comfortable with this murabaha, I have not been appointed to stop you. No. But those of you who can see that this is backdoor riba, you would avoid it. They didn't get you to the front door, so they won't get you to the back door. And then there is that other famous method of hiding the riba in a lease. A lease. But the interest is embedded in the lease contract. The price at which you are leasing the article includes the interest in the price. And so where you think that this is a straight lease contract, a rental contract, it is more than that. It is a rental contract in which the riba is incorporated into the rental price. Do not therefore allow yourself to be trapped by backdoor riba. If we do this, if we borrow on interest, or if we lend on interest, put our money in a fixed deposit. Let me quote the last hadith and we'll now end. What are the implications for us? They can't change this hadith. No. This is Sahih hadith. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ cursed all four. And he said that they're all equally guilty. He cursed all four. And he said that they were all equally guilty. The one who takes riba, the one who gives riba, the one who records the transaction, and the two witnesses. And he said they're all equally guilty. If they're all equally guilty, what is the implication? What is the punishment? What is the punishment for the one who is taking riba? It is there in the last revelation. وَمَنْ عَادَ فَأُولَئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. If you are taking riba, even after this revelation has come, then not only do you belong to the hellfire, but more than that, you remain there forever. Forever. That is the punishment for the one who is taking riba. What is the punishment for the one who is giving riba? He borrowed money on interest to buy a house. And even after this lecture, he would not make tawbah. He would not go back home and sit down with his wife and say, we have committed sin. We must get out of this. We must make tawbah. We must seek istighfar from Allah. And we have to get out of this riba as soon as we can. No. He's not convinced. He still continues to write the check every month to pay the interest and to pay the mortgage. The Prophet said that his sin is equal to the one who is taking riba. What about the one who is working in the bank and recording the transactions? His sin is equal to the one who is taking riba. What about the one who is witnessing the transaction? His sin is equal to the one who is taking riba, the money lender. If their sins are equal, then it follows that the punishment must be equal. They will all enter into the hellfire and they'll remain therein forever. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may look kindly upon us and help us as we seek to understand this subject, and may look kindly upon us and forgive us for what we have done in the past, and may look kindly upon us and help us as we try to lead our lives free from riba.